Morning. We had a lot of rain last night, which is great because all the buckets have been filled up several times, so maybe I won't have to collect water today. But we also had a little bit of wind, and my efforts at waterproofing that did not last. I thought stapling it down would be okay, but turns out not so much. But the boards didn't get too wet, it kept it dry for the first little bit, so maybe half the rain didn't soak in. And the other one as well blew in, so that was just dripped down. So waterproofing didn't work the whole night, but there we go. Today is a nice sunny day, cold but sunny. So I'm going to try and get the roof on this so that at least we have some of it protected, and then perhaps every time we continue we'll do like a section with the roof, section with the roof, section with the roof. So today I'm going to try and get this roof on and water tight, at least covered in a membrane. Right, we're having lunch in the Defenders today because I've got to sit and think about all these lines and measurements and angles and squarenesses and all the bits that I've got to do here, and it's starting to get quite complicated to do. So instead of going somewhere pretty that's going to distract me with squirrels and sheep and nice stuff, I'm just going to sit in my cage and try and figure all these problems out. All right, what have we got today? Got bags. Some Scotch egg, no, just boiled eggs. Some pita bread and the obligatory veg. Alright, well I haven't solved all my problems, but I have a plan for what we're doing next. So I'm going to put some supports on to receive the new roof panel, and then I can work on getting everything square. But I think until I have that support on up here, I need a piece running that way in order to rest the roof on it. Then I'll be able to measure from it and check the whole thing is square and running true from this end down to that end there. So we'll start with that. All right, what I've done here is these bits are I'm gonna go get a big piece of 2x9, I think. I'm bringing that over here, and I need something to rest it on, because you're never gonna hold a piece like that on your own. Certainly not straight and level. You might be able to just, you know, fire it in somewhere, but it's gonna be, you're just never gonna get it anywhere close. So a couple of these means you've got something to lean it on, but then you've got the risk of it flying off this way, like these boards were trying to do. I find that if you screw a piece of timber like this and you screw the screw in down here, then it just gives it a bit of a wedge. So all you're going to do is lift this new piece of timber up and over, and this just kind of, it doesn't keep it tight to the back. You don't really want it to be tight, you just don't want it to fall off the front. So I've done one down that end, and I've done this one here, and that one of this has 2 screws in, because I've got that specifically placed off that end wall. This only has 1, and it's probably behind there, but it's so that this can move up and down if I need it to, so that I can level it from there. If this had 2 in it and then it wasn't level, I wouldn't be able to pivot it. I mean, I suppose I could still pack it up, but I find that if it's just got 1, then it kind of, as it falls on it, it then becomes straight, and you can pack it up a bit easier. So that's why I've done 1. Haven't done 1 that end, because what I'm going to do is put it on here. It's going to extend hopefully past there. I'm then going to go up on the ladder here and push that up and down with a level, and then put my screw in there, and then I know that, you know, it's level from there to there. This central bit's really just a sort of hold it, rather than you know, being anything too structural. I'm just chasing my tail in this one. Just keep having these huge rainstorms every exactly the same amount of time it takes me to get all my tools uncovered. It just chucks it down and gets everything soaking wet, and I'm just spending 15 minutes covering up and then 15 minutes getting everything back out again. So today's patchy, tomorrow's got huge rain all day, and I'm not sure I'm going to get that roof completely sealed today anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a go at making this a bit better waterproofed, so everything doesn't get ruined, and then I'm going to come back to you on Saturday, still in this video, and Saturday, Sunday are clear. So I think we'll have those 2 days, and perhaps we'll get a bit more done instead of just spending all day trying to keep my tools dry. There's a bit better covered up now. I've screwed some timber to the top to hold it down. It's unusual that it's windy. That's why it took me a bit by surprise when some of this blew off, but there was only staples holding them. And then on the other side, I've put some timber on the outside and some strips along here. I've also added a cross brace because the wind last night had shifted this whole thing across, because until I got the roof on, this is just, you know, wobbling around. So sun's come out now, but it keeps tricking me. That's why I'm calling it quits for today, because it keeps being lovely, and then I get going and it stops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get changed into my wet weather gear, and I think I'm going to walk up to the top of there and check out the hydro intake where we're planning on collecting the water for the hydropower. Because I haven't been up there in a while, and I'm starting to think about hydro, because we're trying to sort our power out here. We've got the solar now, but it's a bit on and off. So I'm going to go and have a look at that, and I'll bring you along. Feels kind of funny seeing it from up here. It's been a while since I've been Been a while since I've been up here. Well, I haven't been up here since we've moved. You probably can't see it as well as me here, but solar panels in the barn, static caravan, garden. That huge tree that we went to go and look at is there. I can see it from here, which means it is a spectacular tree. The side of the hill is littered with these little streams all the way down, but I've got the option of three I think, because the others are too far that way to warrant piping this way, if you know what I mean. Like, I need to collect it within a certain distance of the length of the property so I can pipe it down towards the house, so I haven't got to run miles and miles of power cables for the turbines. I mean, I suppose I could tap them all, couldn't I? And then I don't think I need that much power. Plus, I don't want to drain all of the water from the site, because it's going to disrupt the balance of what's here. Another one of these lovely shiny rocks. So this one is a little stream, not really much water, so, some, not a huge amount. That's why I'm considering combining them, because this one is a reasonable flow. I mean, we are in the end of summer, so these are as low as they're going to get. Plus, the way I'm thinking about it is the solar we've got there, we've only got 6 panels, but that will charge the battery in about 3 hours when it's sunny. But when it's cloudy, it just doesn't charge the battery. So, and usually when it's not sunny, there's a bit more water. So the hydro is supposed to work in combination with the solar, so that between the two, we have enough power. So I'm not really after generating a huge amount from this hydro. It just needs to be enough to boost the solar on the days when there's not beautiful sun like this. And I imagine coming into the winter, there'll be quite a few overcast days, and sometimes when it's overcast, because we're right up in the hills, the cloud actually comes down below the hill, which means there's just, the solar's producing 0. So, and on days like that, it's usually wet, which means the hydro will be producing quite a lot. So that's the plan. See the house or caravan, you know, that's us down there. That stream's just there. There's another stream here and another stream there. So my plan is to collect it, pool it in a penstock here. So I've got a fairly chunky bit of water, and then we can shoot it straight down the hill, nice big pipe, and we can just have the outlet straight into the river. So we're not having to create any different waterways. We're just putting it straight back in where it would have ended up anyway. All right, this is stream number 2, which is a bit bigger, but the flow is certainly a lot lower than I've seen it. Ooh, that rock's not stable. So yeah, I think it really is one of those combination things, isn't it? This one and the one we're going to go to both fork down into the biggest stream that runs down the hill. We've got a big stream, you know, the kind of river thing that runs through the garden, but this one and the next one kind of start like this, and then they come together and form the bigger stream, which is why I thought these would be a good place to collect it from. So we'll go and see the other one. Perhaps between the 3 we'll have something useful. All right, so this one's not actually dry, but it's very nearly dry. Standing in it right now. There's a trickle there, and then a trickle there. So the first 2 seem to have the best flow. I'm not sure this is worth teeing into. I know there's no water in any of them at the moment, but I've got to go. If I'm teeing off this one, it's the furthest from where I want it to be. This is an incline, and I need the collection chamber to be as far up the hill as possible so that we can get the maximum run for the pipe. And perhaps you can see, but I'm climbing uphill right now, and the other stream is just over and down. So I think perhaps we're just going to run off those two. They're also the straightest and closest to where we want to collect it from anyway. So yeah, I'll see you in 3. Of course, it's glorious weather as well, isn't it? I called it because I thought, well, there was rain forecast, but it was just going badly today. So I'll see you in 3 days' time, but the video will just continue, and hopefully we'll get a decent amount of that barn done. So we are on a bonus post day because we have tons and tons and tons, and I'm fairly sure some of these will be the pumps and filters and all of the stuff that we are expecting. This one is, you don't need to know what that is. It's for my hair. This looks fancy. What is this? Shakes a bit. I've put all my work mugs on the table and the washing has blown against it and smashed them all. So I got a work mug that I can put on the quad bike in that, you know, the fabric cup holder, and I can drive about and I can keep my cup of tea and I can drink it out of that. So that's what that is. It's kind of cool. These 2 of these look like they've got to be some kind of, because I think I got the filter and things like that off eBay. Oh, I've got 2 more parcels as well. This really is a bonus post day. Right, what we got in here? Excellent, 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 excellent. This is the pump. This is the pump, which is going to mean that I no longer have to go and pick up water from buckets into the back of the quad bike and wheel it all the way down here. I've been waiting for this for a while. When I do the video on that, I'll take it all out, but this is the pump. So we've now got 2 pumps. Excellent. That's that. These 2 are clips, which are not that interesting. And this one is the, I suspect, because it's got a dome-shaped top. Yes. So the snorkel on the Defender, all those fins that you see at the bottom, they've rusted through on all but about 2. So I've just got a new one of them to go on top, because it's only a matter of time before that flies off on the road. So that's that. Ah, this is Screwfix. I'm really pleased I can still get Screwfix shipping here, because I used Screwfix a lot back where we were before, and it just without their stuff I'd have a really hard time. So I've got loads of small screws for the sheeting that we're doing for the sheeting that we're doing. And I got this because the site's freaking huge, and tape measures just don't cut it. Especially when you're trying to measure down and up hills. So I got one of those wheel measures so that I can run it around the garden, because we are dealing with adjusting the planning permission so that we can put a cool, eco house instead of the normal house that's been approved on it. And for that I need to get all the perimeter dimensions, so that's why we've got that. And then this one, please, because it says fragile on it, I'm hoping will be the filter, because the other one we've got is the pump. And looks promising so far. Oh no, it's not. However, still, well, these are not the dimensions I thought they were. I had another one of those internet moments. I thought these would be bigger. So these are the plug, planting things for all of our seeds that we've got. Collecting all those tree seeds, and want to put them in here before it gets too late. So that's those. We can pump water, but we can't filter it. Right, we've got a break in the weather for today only, and then we've got massive amounts of rain for a whole week, solidly, not a second's rest. So we're going to get the roof on today. Have to, or else it's going to get drenched. I've got a plan. Starts with some cross beams, and then we're going to make the infills to go on that. I'm going to lift those sheets up, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Yesterday I added some extra cross members, supports and bits to keep everything square, because it was not square, and it was it was level, top was level. So I added that, so that means that we're pretty much good to just go and get the roof on, and finally get it waterproof. So this is one of those cuts I seem to get wrong almost all the time. And I haven't got my angle finder, which is kind of just a little sliding, like a screw with a blade that you can find the angle for. And I was trying to think about how to do it. So I've run a string from here to the other side, and I've got a bit of cardboard, and all I'm gonna do is just rest that there like the piece of timber's gonna be. And I'm going to mark it. I can't do this really well. I'm going to mark it here, and I'm going to mark it up there where the string is, and then that means I've got the angle I need to cut against here like this, and it should be the same angle that side. I've just got to kind of flip the template. The reason I'm doing it out of cardboard, I originally got a piece of wood, but cardboard just means you can cut it with scissors. And if you've got a piece of wood like this and you're trying to cut it with a circular saw, sometimes it's quite difficult to make sure you get it a nice smooth cut, because you end up kind of wobbling the saw. So I'm doing it on cardboard, and hopefully this is going to help me avoid too many mistakes with the angles and the lengths and things. Yes, this would be a nicer cut if I use a knife and a metal ruler, but I'm going for speed today. Just going to cut a notch where the bottom's going to go, just so I know that there, I've got to line that up with the bottom of this is the long piece of timber here, but this extra piece might be handy to hold, just to line things up. Well, they went way better than I expected. The first cut, I had to cut it a couple of times, as you saw, because the track saw, if you're using a plunge saw, sometimes when you plunge it twists against the wood, so I had to go and get the track. That was only a couple of seconds, but the gaps look pretty good. Lines at the top there, all right. I'll take you over there and explain that side quickly, because I wanted it to protrude above here slightly. And let me get this piece of wood. The reason for that is I'm gonna make panels like these wall panels, and I'm gonna rest them between a timber here, a timber there, you know, all these support struts. But when I put this on top, if this was flush here, when this came down, it would, if you imagine that flush, it would stop there and you'd have this kind of gap at the end. So I wanted it proud so that when that runs down here, it rests there specifically, so that this board, I'm gonna have to unscrew these boards, can come up, and this top corner, I could cut these at an angle, but I'm not gonna bother, can just receive a screw in there. So this wood comes all the way to the top here, my sheet comes all the way to the top flush here. I'm not going to do any overhang because there's going to be metal roofing sheets, and I'm going to put them on here, and the metal roof will protrude slightly, and that will produce the gutter drip. I want the timber for now to be flush. Not sure if that's the correct way to do it, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So yeah, that's nice. This angle's nice. That angle's nice. So what we're going to do now is just replicate what I've done here. 1, 2, 3, 4 more times. That bit over there is going to be floating. We're not doing this wall here, so we're going to have the big joist there supported by further columns that I'm going to put down there. But our main goal today is just to get this bit enclosed. If we get any further down there, big bonus. But I did not expect that to fit first time, and quite as nice as it does. So let's see if we can replicate that on the further cuts. I think I'm going to have to split the video here. It's either going to be really long, or I'm just going to have to skip loads and just kind of film it when it's all finished. And I think it'd be better to film it all. So yeah, I'm going to split it here, and then in the next one we'll just continue straight on. We'll just get the roof on and the remaining supports for that section. So if you'd like to come see that, come join us. Nice to see you there. I'll see you in the next one.